extra singers and on us singing along. And on the second, we'll make these maps, we're gonna have a few rehearsals for people who come and learn this book too, or at least the refrain. So start right now, listening to the refrain, we'll sing the whole thing over and start getting it in your head. Don't be shy. So rock and roll, and the master of rock and roll, Shabbat.
Okay, people are saying the sound is not right, and I think that that is true. I just switched the speaker, but I don't, yeah. Fortunately, Mike is here.
It's like the Julia Child episode that we watched every night. Julia Child.
Okay. Got to make sure everything is plugged in properly.
You're not plugged in.
I'm not plugged in?
Somewhere along the path.
Oh. Okay. Can you hear now? I see general nodding. Okay, but this is still right. Okay, now it should be right. Does it sound right? Mary Lou, do you want to say something?
I was just acknowledging that it does sound right.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, Linda says she hears me, but not Noni. Noni is not making any sound at the moment. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's better.
All right. I think we're ready. Yes. Okay, people are saying yes, they hear both. And Linda said, wow, yes. Okay. All right, I think now we are ready to begin. So tonight, as Noni mentioned, is our Women of B'ShERT, a sisterhood organization. It is their evening to lead the service, and so that is what's going to be happening. So I will be here, but I'm just not going to be doing all that much. But let's take a moment, get ourselves ready. I will share the prayer book. And I would like to invite Charlotte Russell to start us off on page 127.
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Amen.
Mona Goldberg on page 127. Would you continue, please?
We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires us sacred living, for Shabbat memories, glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace, born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessings, O God.
On page 120 and 121 is the candle blessings, and I would like to invite Ellen Rothstein.
you. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of the hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness and peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. We turn now to the Kiddush on page 123, and I'd like Candy Friedman to read the English for us. Candy, are you unmuted?
There, how's that? Sorry.
Much better.
Sorry. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who, finding favor with us, sanctifies us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage, as a reminder of the work of Creator. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the people. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
If you're able, I'd like to invite you to rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava v'ratzon Hinkilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikrai kodesh, zeicher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'chata Yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ava u'v'ratzon hinachaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
You may be seated. On page 130, I'd like to invite Judith Weiss to unmute and read.
Come, let us sing joyously to Adonai. Raise a shout for our rock and our deliverer. Let us come into God's presence with praise. Let us raise a shout for God in song. For Adonai is a great God, the great ruler of all divine beings. In God's hand are the depths of the earth. The peaks of the mountains are God's. God's is the sea. God made it, and the land which God's hands fashioned. Come, let us bow down and kneel, bend the knee before Adonai our Maker. For Adonai is our God, and we are the people God tends, the flock in God's care. Oh, if you would but heed God's charge this day.
Thank you. We turn now to page 138 for Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה שמוע וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור הברכה בראש מקדם ניסוחה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בלה גם בשמחה I'm sorry. Can we go back to that? לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם ניסוחה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. We're going to go to verse 9. בואי ושלום עטרת בלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
The Baruch Hu is on page 146. I invite you to rise if you're able or remain standing.
Lai 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 lai
La 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 la.
lai 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam vaed Le'olam vaed La 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 la
La la la la la la la la.
La 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 la
La la la la la la la la.
La 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 la
You may be seated. On page 148, I'd like to invite Susan Sisler to unmute and read.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim.
Avat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shochveinu ובקומנו נעשוך בחוקיך ונזמור בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down, when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel.
Thank you. Thank you, Tamara Kerner. The Shema is on page 152. I invite you, if you're able, to rise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God. Adonai is one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated. Joyce, thank you. Thank you, Joyce Kantrowitz, for reading the English. I'd like to invite Debbie Belsky to continue with the Ve'ahavta.
Go ahead, you run.
Ve'ahavta es Adonai Elohecha v'chol levav v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol miodecha v'hoyu hadvorim ha'ele asher anachi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam V'shivtecha v'veitecha uvlevtecha v'aderech u'shakbecha uvkumecha ukshartam liot al yodecha v'hoyu l'totafot beinenecha uksavtom amizuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskuru v'asitem et kol mikvotai Vitem kadoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher otzetziechem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Emet. Beautiful. Thank you, Debbie. Page 157, Linda Horowitz, would you unmute and read, please?
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Thank you.
Mi kamocha ba'ilim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh. Mi kamocha ba'ilim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh. Nora ose, Nora ose Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokei hayom lifnei Moshe zeili hanu ve'amru zeili hanu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed mi kamocha ba'ilim Adonai mi kamocha neda b'kodesh mi kamocha ba'ilim Adonai mi kamocha neda b'kodesh Nora tehilot osef eleh Nora tehilot osef Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
Adrian Knoll is going to read the English for us.
Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
Amen, and thank you. Page 160.
Grant, O God, that we lie down.
Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom. V'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with the morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
And Helene Smith for the English.
Grant, O God, that we lie down at peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and peace evermore. Blessed are you, God Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people, Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Thank you. Page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם. בני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, ולעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. לדורותם ברית עולם. לדורותם Brit Olam.
Gail Levine Freed is going to read the English for us.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. The tefillah begins on page 164, and I invite you, if you're able, to rise.
Yalla lai 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 Adonai. Yalla lai 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 sfatai tiftach. Yalla lai 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yalla lai 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 Adonai. Yalla lai lai sai taf tiftach. Yalla lai 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yalla lai 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 Adonai. Yalla lai 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 sfatai tiftach. Yalla lai 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yalla lai 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 Adonai. Yalla lai 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 sfatai tiftach. Yalla lai 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yalla lai 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 Adonai. Yalla lai 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 sfatai tiftach. Yalla lai 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yalla lai 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 Adonai. Yalla lai 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 sfatai tiftach. Yalla lai 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagdol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, L'Ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Hozeh, Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, B'chayei hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Morid hatal, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים באמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. On page 173, I'd like to invite Diane Shanker to read.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Page 175, Cecilia Kramer. Are you unmuted, Cecilia?
Yes, I did it magnificently, though.
I believe you.
You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, oh God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service.
Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Thank you, Cecilia. We have come now to our prayer of gratitude, and I know a couple of people have already added something they're grateful for in the chat. So Patricia is grateful that it's springtime and she's enjoying the breeze. And Elaine Sarfati is grateful to hear Noni's voice and my wisdom. Also to have her daughter and her partner visiting from Eugene. Anybody else feeling grateful today for something? Alan. So Alan was awarded for his 40th anniversary of officiating girls basketball, and it just shows that we're all getting older, he says. So Modim Nachnu Lach for that milestone. Charlotte.
I'm grateful that we were all together to celebrate this wonderful service.
Agreed. Modim Nachnu Lach for this wonderful service. Anybody else? Nathan. A good report from the doctors. Karen is grateful for her children on this Mother's Day weekend. Doreen is grateful for the wonderful Florida vacation they had this past week. And Susan is grateful for the continued help from her medical team. Anybody else feeling gratitude today?
I'm Mona.
Go ahead, Mona.
I'm grateful that my daughter-in-law Catherine and my son Charles are both over COVID.
Yes, there's much to be grateful for.
Rabbi,
Yes?
I'm grateful for a beautiful family and wonderful, wonderful friends.
Modim anachnu lach. Mary Lou?
I'm very grateful that we can all be together through this technology. And this service is so incredibly special. I'm grateful to be a part of, with you for all of this. I'm grateful for my surroundings and for wonderful neighbors and friends who help us out, and wonderful medical attention for Ron. So thank you so much.
Amen. Anybody else? Okay.
Deanna?
Yes?
My good friend here, Lee Wallach, fell a week ago and hit her head badly and was bleeding internally for all week, and her family was ready for the worst. But now she's a little better and eating herself, and she knows who people are. So I'm many of us here are very, very thankful.
Amen. All right, if that's a lot to be grateful for, I'm sure there is more. I'm going to ask Freema to unmute and read for us the Modim blessing, page 177.
And I just have to say I'm grateful for this service, and Debbie was able to join me, and that everything is doing good so far. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Hato Shemcha Ocha Noel Lehadot.
Thank you.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Ata Melech Adon L'chol HaShalom. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך טסים לעולם.
Doreen, would you unmute and read the English for us?
Grant peace, goodness, and blessing, grace, kindness, and mercy to us and to all your people, Israel. Bless us, our Creator, all of us together, through the light of your presence. Truly, through the light of your presence, Adonai, our God, you gave us a Torah of life, the love of kindness, justice, and blessing, mercy, life, and peace. May you see fit to bless your people, Israel, at all times, at every hour, with your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people, Israel, with peace.
Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech et amo Yisrael bashalom. Thank you, Doreen. We continue now with our quiet prayer. There are words in the prayer book on pages 180 and 181. If you can see the screen, there are words on the screen, but we can also use the words that are in our own hearts. We continue quietly.
יהיו לרצון נמרי פי והגיון ליבי. יהיו לרצון נמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצון נמרי פי והגיון ליבי. יהיו לרצון נמרי פי ליבי לפניך. אדוני, אדוני, צורי, צורי, אדוני, צורי וגואלי. אדוני, אדוני, צורי, צורי, אדוני, צורי וגואלי. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you, O my rock, and my Redeemer.
We turn our thoughts now to those among us and those in our hearts who are ill and who are in need of healing of body, of mind, or of spirit. If you're on Zoom, you're welcome to add names in the chat if you did not send them into the office, and everyone will have a chance to add names out loud if they choose. We hold in our thoughts and in our hearts for healing this evening Jesse Sakharoff, Dan Sacker, Ira Weiss, Elaine Drucker, Allison Plummer, Rabbi Dara Lerner, Susan Sisler, Joellen Fox, Alan Fremer, Valerie Pace, George Landberg, Susan Bilecki, Dana Haitkin Nelson, Arlene Rosenthal, Michael Luck, Barbara Weiner, Joan Lifshitz, Elizabeth Lee, Amy Juskowitz Soonseller, Deanna Roth, Jonathan Falkowski, Martha and Ed Vincent, Ingrid Grosso, Audrey Cohen, Eddie DeAngelis, Vicki Lightnaker, Nettie Trommer, Mia Gannon, Jerry Prezioso, Jeff Abel, Patricia Christensen, Monica Bayer, Liz Yasuda, Diane Steiner, Mark and Paul Steiner, Patty and Erwin Cohen, Jerry Jaffe, Shira Reese, Jonathan Dash, Carolyn Dash, Donna Saltz, Michelle Feder, Eric Feder, Tamima Feder, Ellen Dufour, Joe DeVito, Todd Petrie, Rabbi Joel Sofin, Arlene Scher, Diane Heinzerling, Henny Fisher, Larry Kinsberg, 16 Brown, Linda Kushner Silverman, Donovan, son of Sarah. DeAndre Wynn, Mary Lou McGivney, Sarah West, Jennifer Magoob, Joanna Marie, Teresa O'Sullivan, Jimmy Jenkins, Chanel Kamabach, Juliette Dale, Elena Aram, those people who are suffering in the Caribbean, in Haiti, in Israel, India, or Afghanistan, Maureen Dale, Stacy, David, and Lauren Mauser and Hannah Paines, Larry Lenore, Jennifer Aronow, and Christina Thies, Nancy Mendez, Bobby and Dan Baumgarten, Marilyn and David Bader, Sam Sarfati, Diana Heinzerling, Freya Kashmir, Delphine Wolf, Paul Markowitz, Alid and Pat Colella, Jeannie Osiello, Jesse Levin, Dottie Tabekman, Lita Rogers, Ron Cricky, Laura Cricky, Susan and Tony Vi, Jean and Larry Green, Laney and Larry Vinicow, Merle Propp, Eve Heyman, Zizi Potsdam, Brenda McBasey, Baby Isaiah Torres, Mimi and Celia Karp, Marion Mandel, Elliot Woofsey, Roz Nadell, Paul Markowitz, Nancy Kelly, Baby James Scarpulla, and those who have been hurt in Ukraine. Other names to add. Adrian? Mike? Janice? Alan? Ellen? Freema?
Alan Rolnick, Rochelle Rolnick, Nathan Imrani, Reva and David Cohen, Lucy Palazzolo, Martin Bennett, Carol Beanstalk, Phyllis O'Neill, Kathy's brother Gabby, Frantina Mitchell Popowitz, Elliot Drucker. You have a name? Yes. Okay, Debbie has a name.
Thank you. People who have been hurt in this country by natural disasters.
Thank you.
Anyone else on Zoom? We include also all of, oh, did I just see another hand go up? No. We include also all of those who are suffering from COVID-19, those who have been hurt in service to our country or Israel, those who have been harmed in terrorist attacks in Israel, those who have been hurt in Ukraine or Afghanistan or other areas of conflict, those who were hurt in the explosion in the hotel in Havana, Cuba, and those who have been harmed in other disasters, whether natural or human created. You can find the Misha Berach on page 371.
Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, veRachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Misha Berach Avotenu, Misha Berach Imotenu, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm so honored to speak to you on this evening when our service is being led by the women of B'ShERT, a sisterhood organization. The women of our community are amazing. You are strong, accomplished, resilient, and loving. You have experienced a lot: illness, hardship, and loss, as well as joy, celebration, and gratitude. Many of you have been activists around various social issues of this century and the last: the civil rights movement, Russian Jewry, Zionism, reproductive rights, women's rights, same-sex marriage, the environment, and more. Some of you have fought for care that your children needed or your parents. I have heard some of your stories, and I admire you so much. I'm so sorry that we are at a moment in our country's history when it looks as if the Supreme Court is going to overturn the landmark decision in Roe v. Wade and take away the guarantee that pregnant people have the right to abortion. I'm sure some of you have been involved with that issue in the past, maybe. In the 1990s, I attended protests about abortion and did clinic defense, although the New York City clinic we showed up to defend didn't really need it as it happened. There were way more defenders than protesters. And I've been a supporter of Planned Parenthood. Like many of you, I am sure, I am horrified and deeply concerned at the rolling back of rights regarding reproductive health and choice that we are experiencing. All of us know someone or multiple people who have needed abortions, whether we are aware of it or not. Many of you who are older than I probably know someone who had an illegal abortion before 1973. And though I have no knowledge of it, it's very likely that at least one of you here at services tonight has needed and has had an abortion, either legally or illegally. As you may know, Jewish law differs from Catholic and evangelical Christian belief that personhood begins at conception, and that an embryo or a fetus is just as much a person as the person who is growing it in their uterus. I understand the impulse to think of a fetus as a person from the beginning, because when a baby is wanted, we tend to begin imagining the person it will be right from the beginning. But that doesn't mean that it really is a person yet. Jewish law says that for the first 40 days after conception, a fetus is like water, meaning nothing like a human at all yet. After that, a fetus is considered to be an appendage of the person in which it is growing, not a person itself. And only when it emerges from the parent's body at birth is it considered a person. The pregnant person's life is absolutely considered more important than the fetus's life. We read in the Mishnah, our sacred Torah that comes historically after the Hebrew Bible, if a woman is having trouble giving birth, they cut up the child in her womb and bring it forth limb by limb, because her life comes before the life of the fetus. But if the greater part has come out, one may not touch it, for one may not set aside one person's life for that of another. So that's very graphic and possibly disturbing. What it describes is what I think we would call a late-term abortion, the kind of abortion that no one has voluntarily, and which is usually a tragedy for the family when it is necessary. It is an extreme case, but it is clear that abortion is required up to the moment of birth if the parent's life is endangered, but that once most of the baby is out of the womb and in the air, it is a person and as valuable a life as its parent, but not a moment before most of the baby has emerged. In a patriarchal religion like ours, in which it often seems that a woman is considered more as property than as a full person in her own right, it's notable that our tradition emphasizes that she is a person and that a fetus, until born, is not a person. I am concerned for multiple reasons about the abortion laws that will prohibit abortion or severely limit it in 26 states that will go into effect the moment Roe v. Wade is overturned. These laws violate the religious freedom of Jews. They take away women's ability to determine what happens to their own bodies and get health care that they need, and they will lead to deaths of women. In our Torah portion this week, Kiddushim, we read, "Do not stand by the blood of your neighbor." For me this year, this means I must do what I can do to advocate for reproductive health care and rights for all people who might become pregnant. That includes my own daughters, the daughter of our congregation whose bat mitzvah we celebrate tomorrow, and people all across the country. I would encourage anyone who is concerned about these rights to join in doing what we can to mitigate the harm and maintain the rights of those who need reproductive health care. To all the women of our community, I would like to say once again how much I admire your strength, your kindness, and all you have done and all you are doing in your lives. I am honored to know each one of you. Thank you for sharing yourselves with the B'ShERT family. Amen and Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue with the Aleinu. It begins on page 586 at the bottom of the page. And Jane Gleiberman, please be ready when we finish the Shehu Notei Shamayim part to read the part after that. I invite you, if you're able, to rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים
the screen or I read it?
נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפסולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, בדעת היום, בהשיבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד.
May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
You may be seated. We turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us, our loved ones who have died in the past days or weeks or months, or in past years at this time of the year. I've put the yahrzeit list on the screen. I'm sorry that it's so small. Those of you who are here in person can find the yahrzeit list in your bulletin. If you're on Zoom and you would like to add any names that you didn't send to the office for the Mourner's Kaddish, you could add those in the chat, and everyone will have a chance to add names out loud. We remember those who have died in the past year. Myron Jacobson, Lester Shanker, John Belay, Yefim Polyak, the Reverend Eleanor Lee McGee Street, Arthur Goldstein, Lotta Bloom, Irv Golden, Arthur Derry, Andrew Mazzella, Joyce Braziller, Linda Gilbert Schneider, Della Cohen, Fran Arnowitz, Selma Carl, Harold Carl, Emily Seff, Moshe Usher Reinitz, Huma Saber, Lila Bloomfield, John Carfisi, Andy Glantzman, Todd Zeitlin, John Previtt Jr., Augie Dorio, Janet Esposito, Kay Josephs, Arnold Block, Elizabeth Clark, Kyle McGee Sr., Ida Houston, Louisa Espute, Perry De La Touche, Ira Roth, Roberta Hayrath, George Liss, the Reverend Claude Parks Street, Sylvia Tishkovich, Ellen Belofsky, Cindy Retagliata, Dolores Weinberger, Suzanne Leknos, Shirley Kafker, Lillian Frost Ridgely, Thomas Marinin, Meg Goldate, Marguerite Romeo, John Young, Isadora Frost, Fred Perlman. Included on our yahrzeit list this week are Harry Baylor, Roz Baylor's husband, Pauline Gelson, Roz Baylor's aunt, Nathan Glasser, Stephen Glasser's father, Alex Hollander, Stan Hollander's father, Robert Pincus, Yvette Pomerantz's cousin, and Gertrude Rothman, Sarah West's grandmother. Any other names to add? Nathan. Alan? Alan? Frances Bergman, Ruth Winehouse, Linda Kushner Silverman's beloved Seth and her cousin Stanley Tenen, Estrella Sarfati, Azaria Sarfati, Seal Bader, and Anthony Miranda. Freema?
Okay, hi. Jack Mandel, Jack Mandel, Betty Rubel, and I know Harry's on the list, but he was like one of a kind person. He was just so wonderful. Thank you. Debbie has two.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Eileen Friedman Kurlander.
Thank you. Anyone else? We include also all of those who have died from COVID-19 and who have died from other causes, whether in war in Ukraine or Afghanistan or Syria, in terror, in disaster, or alone and homeless on the streets of our cities. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. I invite you, if you're able, to rise and join in or to participate according to your own custom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach hirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, bagala uv'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Ulalmei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei Dekudesha Barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Dam yaran ba'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'el Kol Yisrael, Vimru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'el Kol Yisrael, Vimru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to the bereaved here and wherever they may be. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom. Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
I'd like to invite our president, Adrian Knoll, to make the announcements.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Well, this was a great service. Thank you to the intrepid band of readers from the Women of B'ShERT. it's nice. Instead of having our usual women-led service, we had different women leading the service. So, that was actually very nice. And the music, you really had to like sit up and pay attention. I saw toes tapping. I saw people humming. There was a little jazz, a little blues.
I
a
figured
little
you'd like the
country.
jazz, right?
Yeah, I did. And the Lechado Dei had like a real Carmen Miranda vibe, I thought.
right.
I mean that in the best possible way, so thank you. Let's see. Tomorrow, we have Lillian Goldstein's bat mitzvah here at 11 o'clock. So that's everyone who can come, please do. Watch on Zoom. The Interfaith Coalition on Monday will be meeting at 7 o'clock. The book that will be discussed is Revive Your Heart by Numan Ali Khan. Tuesday, Gentle Chair Yoga. That's from 4 to 5 with Gail Levine Freed and Robert Freed. Register at the link is in your email. Torah study Tuesday, 1 o'clock with Rabbi Pinsky. Confirmation class 6 o'clock Wednesday. Also, if you're on the executive board, there's an executive board meeting at 7:15. The agenda will go out as soon as I write it. Coming up, I heard there's a luncheon taking place on June 12th. If you haven't yet made your reservation, they're honoring someone, I don't know. But if you haven't made your reservation yet, please do. The goods and services auction is taking place June 7th through June 12th. Contact Pam Glansman or Karen Eichel or the Temple office if you have anything to donate, create, something like that. Ellen, can you come up here for a minute and tell us a little bit about the program taking place on June 26th?
Joni and I of membership are very proud and honored to have this really special program. The program is called the Tuskegee Airmen and the Jewish People, How Our Past Inspires the
Little
Future.
louder, please.
Okay. Okay. So the program that we are having is called the Tuskegee Airmen and the Jewish People, How Our Past Inspires the Future. And we hope that this will be a conversation with an airman, a 95-year-old airman that wasn't a fighter pilot but was in the unit. We have grandchildren, children of airmen, and we will also talk about the special relationship that the Tuskegee Airmen had with the Jewish people. It will be introduced by Rabbi Hoover, and it will be moderated by Cynthia Gooms. I'm going to take this off. Cynthia Gooms Katz. You remember her from the talk we had called, I think is highest, what was it called? Highest, talk about immigration. Let's talk about immigration. That was that. She's a wonderful person, and we hope that you will join us on Zoom, and I would be very grateful for your support. June 26th, Sunday, June 26th at 4 p.m. Thank you.
And finally, in honor of all of these wonderful women who participated tonight, all you activists and just amazing people, everyone should find 5 people who are not registered to vote and make them register to vote, because that's what we can do. We can raise our voices and vote. Shabbat Shalom. Have a great week.
Thank you. I have a couple more announcements to add, and then we're going to count the Omer, and then we'll have the closing song. First of all, the Oneg tonight is sponsored by the Goldstein-Rothstein family. Yes, that's right. Lillian's father is Joshua Goldstein, and her mother is Sarah Rothstein. So, which, you know. Also, I want to mention that Shira Reese, Myron Jacobson's partner, is accepting callers tomorrow all day and Sunday all day. Tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. there will be a Shiva Minyan service. It would be great if you can come and help make a minyan, even if you don't know Shira or Myron. And I'll just tell you that Shira, like everyone in our congregation, is definitely worth knowing. She is a fascinating person. Her address is 1310 Avenue R, apartment number 7M, like Mary. I was trying to. Miriam. M like Miriam. Yes, indeed. All right, the Omer is on page 570. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom esrim ve'echad yom shehem shalosh shavuot la Omer. Today is the 21st day, which is 3 weeks of the Omer. Friday night counting is easy on the years when it's a week. We are going to close this evening with another new song, and I'm going to put the lyrics on the screen. Whoops, that didn't work. Hold on.
And if you can just get the refrain going, the words are ze, baze, baze, ze, baze, baze, ze, baze, beze, beyachad. Right? So just if
Wait,
you can catch
are
on
you
to that.
seeing it?
Ze,
No.
baze, baze, ze, baze, baze, ze, baze, baze,
There it is.
beyachad. So just try to get that refrain, and then by the 10th, we're going to sing these songs, and it's going to be a very exciting musical service, really. Going to have a good time. Going to have many instruments playing, many people singing, and we're going to send an email that on June 2nd and June 6th, we're going to have 2-hour sessions where we'll learn all these refrains so we can all come in on the 10th, singing out loud for President Adrian's before her party luncheon. Shabbat. May good fortune and blessing be found here. May the music of memory resound here. May the work of our hands and the work of our souls make us stronger, make us whole. Zeba, 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 zebiachad. Oh, zeba, 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 zebiachad. May we seek peace and understanding. May we cherish every companion. May the work we put in and the joy we express make us stronger, make us blessed. May the builders that lay the foundation, may they rise up in each generation. May the ones who invest never tire nor rest. They make us stronger, make us blessed. Zeba, 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 zebiachad. Oh, zeba, 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 zebiachad. Kol Yisrael Erevim zelazeh. Kol Yisrael Erevim zelazeh. May good fortune and blessing be found here. May the music of memory resound here. May the work of our hands and the work of our souls make us stronger, make us whole. Zeba, 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 zebiachad. Oh, zeba, 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 zebiachad.
I invite you, if you're able to rise. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine on you and be gracious to you. May God lift God's face toward you and give you peace. Amen.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thank you for coming. Oneg in the community room, sponsored by the Bat Mitzvah family.
Thank you, Mr. Tornek.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Michael Tornek and Noni. Thank you, everybody who participated in the service. Beautiful.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Noni. Thank you, everybody who helped make this so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. It
Beautiful.
was very nice.
Thank you, everyone.
Really nice. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. A special shout out to Rabbi Hoover, who assigned the parts for everyone tonight. And thank you for all who participated.
Yeah, because we're so wonderful.